Today's question is, just learned that in 5 days my co-manufacturer is shutting down for 2 weeks. What do I do? It's May 1st. Mother's Day is 9 days away. One of the biggest gift purchase weekends of the year for specialty food brands. Graduation season is in full swing. You already confirmed production timelines and your retail partner is expecting big shipments by the end of the week. Today's question comes from Isabella, who runs a small chocolate manufacturing business specializing in unique handcrafted gift boxes, and she sent me a question I think a lot of you will recognize. A few days ago, she got a call from her co-manufacturer. Monday, they're shutting down for 2 weeks. Equipment repairs. No warning, no plan B offered. For Isabella, Mother's Day weekend is not just a busy weekend. It's one of the maybe 3 busiest weekends in the entire year and on which her business depends on. 9 days to Mother's Day. 2-week shutdown. Nerve-wracking. Doesn't even begin to cover it. And if your peak isn't spring, if it's summer, outdoor events, farmers markets, or the winter holiday season, just swap the calendar date. The situation is identical. Everything I'm about to walk through applies to any peak window, any time of the year. And I know this is a question that came from a CPG brand owner dealing with a co-manufacturer, but if you're a food and beverage manufacturer, stay with me. The exact same principles apply when your critical ingredient supplier gives you this kind of notice. Maybe your specialty flour supplier, your organic tomato paste source, or your unique spice blend vendor. The playbook I'm walking through works whether the relationship is a co-manufacturer or ingredient supply business partner. It's all about managing critical production dependencies. Okay, let's tackle the topic. Your first instinct is panic. That's understandable, but panic isn't a plan, so let's build one. I'm going to give you a framework for the first 72 hours, then for the next 2 weeks, and then, just as importantly, what to do after this is over so you're never this exposed again. Welcome to the Green Ledger, tips for a sustainable small business. I'm Anca, founder of 3P Impact Consulting. This season, we're answering your real questions about building resilient, responsible businesses. Whether you're running a CPG brand, a food or beverage manufacturer, or a coffee shop, each episode tackles one question with practical, actionable answers you can use right away. Let's dive in. So, phase 1, the next 72 hours. Step 1 is get the full picture before you do anything else. So before you do any single call, get clear on 4 things. 1, what's actually affected? All your SKUs or just the ones tied to the equipment that is being repaired? How much inventory do you have on hand or in transit right now? What are your committed ship dates and to whom? And what's your actual gap? Units needed minus the units available. That number is your problem to solve. This is a very important step. Please don't skip it. The instinct is to start scrambling immediately, but if you don't know the exact size of the problem, you'll either overreact and damage relationships unnecessarily or underreact and miss deadlines you could have covered. Step 2 is communicate early. Call your most critical accounts first. No email, just call. Tell them what happened, what you know, and what you're doing about it. You don't need all the answers yet. Just You need to be proactive. And we covered this in episode 2 of season 1. Proactive communication protects relationships. Silence destroys them. Your customers can handle a heads up. What they cannot handle is finding out on the day of the delivery that delivery is not going to happen. Step 3 is work your alternatives. Can your co-manufacturer prioritize any of your production before the shutdown starts? Even a partial run, buys you time. Do you have any existing relationships with other co-manufacturers, even informal ones? This is a moment to make the call. Is any product sitting with a distributor you supply? Sometimes you can buy back inventory as a bridge. Not ideal, but better than missing a key retail window entirely. So this was phase 1, what to do right away, in the first 72 hours. Now, in the next 2 weeks, phase 2. First, triage your commitments. When you're facing a shortfall, make triage decisions objectively. 3 tiers. First, tier 1, must not miss. These are anchor retail accounts, biggest wholesale partners, Mother's Day or graduation gift orders already placed and paid. Whatever inventory you have goes here first. Then tier 2, some flexibility, partners who can push a week. Direct to consumer orders they can ship slightly late with a proactive note. And tier 3, you can pause. New account relationships that haven't fully launched, summer reorders with time to spare. Make this list before you're in the reactive mode. Triage discipline is what separates brands that come through production crisis intact from those that spend the next year repairing relationships. And then protect the co-manufacturer relationship. Stay professional and in communication. Ask what it takes to be first in line when they're back up. That being said, and this connects back to episode 6 of season 1 on supplier relationships. Also ask difficult questions. Did they know about this earlier? Could they have given you more notice? Their answers inform how much you can rely on them going forward. Okay, so that was phase 2, in the 2 weeks after you got a call. Now, phase 3 is after the crisis. This is a phase most business owners skip. They survive, move on, and maybe end up in the exact same spot in 6 months. So don't skip, right? First, do a post-mortem. Ask yourself 3 questions. What created my exposure? Was it single source manufacturing, no safety stock, insufficient lead time? What worked in how I responded and what didn't? And what would have made this a non-event instead of a crisis? The answers tell you exactly where to invest your energy. Then add it to your risk register. In episode 3, season 1, we talked about the heat risk map. Co-manufacturer disruption during peak season is high likelihood, high impact for most CPG brands. If it's not already on your risk register, it goes there now. Red zone. Then build your backup strategy. The most important thing you can do after this crisis is make sure you're never fully dependent on a single manufacturer again. That means 3 things. 1. Identify and qualify at least one backup co-manufacturer, even if you never use them. Know who they are, know their lead times, know roughly what onboarding would take. Ask your primary co-manufacturer directly about their equipment maintenance schedule and their contingency plans. if they don't have good answers. That tells you something important about your exposure. And 3, set a minimum safety stock level for your top SKUs heading into any peak season. What's the number that makes you feel covered, and build your production schedule around hitting it. Build the structure you need before you need it, right? Now, let me step back for a second, because there's something important I want to stress about. The situation, a co-manufacturer shutting down during your peak season, is one of the most common vulnerabilities I see in small CPG brands, and almost no one addresses it proactively. They're so focused on the product, the brand, the sale, that the operational foundation stays fragile. The brands that weather these disruptions well aren't the ones that have the most resources. They're the ones who have thought through the scenario in advance, who've had the conversation, who have a short list of alternatives they can call. That preparation takes a few hours, not months, but most businesses never make the time. Don't be most businesses. This week's action items. So even if you're not in the situation right now, do these 3 things this week. 1, map your production exposure. Write down every co-manufacturer you depend on, and for each one ask, if they went dark for 2 weeks tomorrow, what happens to my business? 2, identify one backup. Research one co-manufacturer who could theoretically handle at least your top SKUs. You don't have to onboard them or change anything yet. You just need to know they exist and have a general sense of their capabilities and lead times. And 3, set your safety stock minimum for your peak season, whether that's spring, summer, winter holidays. What's the minimum units on hand before production starts to feel safe? So if you're in this situation right now, I hope this gave you a clear starting point. And if you're not in the situation, use it as a prompt. The best time to think through a crisis is before it happens. Thanks for listening, The Green Ledger. If today's episode sparked a question for you, something you've been dealing with in your business, send it to me. My email is in the show notes. Your question could become the next episode and help dozens of other business owners navigate the same challenge. If you want more tools and resources, sign up for my email list on my website. The link is in the show notes. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with other small business owners who need to hear it. New episodes are released every 1st and 16th of the month. Until next time, remember, small steps lead to big impact, and resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. See you next time.